And welcome back to the Sports RX on 7 for the game. This is the Shot Doctor. It's good to see you again with David Buffa. Join us today, 407-916-8255 and 1-800-729-8255 is toll-free. Text us to 70236. Our special guest, NFL report, longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips makes a Sports RX debut. And, Coach, welcome to the show. What's happening?
Well, we're here at the East-West game. We're getting ready for a ball game. We're working with these young guys, and a lot of them look pretty good.
Coach, what is it like now coaching college players in a situation like this? These guys want to do good for the scouts, and talk about coaching these guys and what kind of practice schedule so far this week, Coach, in the East-West Shrine game.
Yeah, it's kind of fun coaching these guys. They're really excited about it. You know, there's well over 100 scouts out there every day watching them practice and talking to them, and I know they all want to put on the best performance they can for this ball game.
Coach, in the East-West Shrine game, the way the format is, it's the major college all-star game. Can you talk about what it means to these players to be selected, the East-West Shrine game, what it means to the players in their college careers to finish it out like this?
Well, I think it's a great honor to be at the East-West Shrine game. I think there's like 60 Hall of Famers, NFL Hall of Famers that have played in the East-West Shrine game. That's about a third of the Hall of Fame. So, you know, it's important that these guys get picked for this game and also that they perform well.
Coach, one of the guys on the West rosters that you will be coaching is Patrick DeMarco. He's a fullback out of South Carolina, a guy that I know personally. And talk about Patrick this week in practice as a fullback. Have you liked what you've seen so far, Coach?
I do like what I've seen. He's very athletic. He can really catch the ball well out of the backfield. I mean, we noticed that real quickly. You know, he's a good blocker and seems like a real smart player. So, but I think we can utilize him catching the ball a lot out of the backfield. Looks like he can catch it and go with it after he catches it.
Longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips is our very special guest on 740 The Game.
Coach, you're a defensive guy, defensive coach, one of the best in the NFL. And going into the NFL playoffs, if we can hit on that for a minute, the four teams to the left might be four of the best defenses in the whole league. Is that any coincidence, or is that usually the way it plays out?
Oh, it's different every year. I mean, the offenses certainly came to the forefront there for a while, you know, but it always helps to certainly have a good defensive team, and all four of those teams are good on defense.
Coach, you're known as one of the best coaches of 3-4 defense ever in the NFL. Can you talk about how you developed the 3-4 defense when you first started coaching that and why it works for you?
Well, I started out, you know, when it first started in the league. My dad was the first one to utilize the 3-4 in the NFL full time, and I was lucky enough to be under him, and then, you know, we've just taken it from there. So I've coached it for, you know, a long, long time. I think it gives you a lot of things that the 4-3 doesn't, so especially the pass rush. So, you know, I'm all for it, and you can see the teams that are playing in the playoffs here for the Super Bowl are 3-4 teams.
Longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips, our very special guest on 740 The Game. Something else, Coach. You'll be the coach of the Houston Texans next year, defensive coordinator. One of the guys you inherit is defensive end Mario Williams. Talk about the defense you're going to have at Houston, Coach. What you guys can do with that out there.
Well, we're certainly looking to improve. I mean, that's why they brought me in. But I think, you know, I think we have a chance to be pretty good on defense. We've got, you mentioned Mario Williams. I mean, he's an all-star caliber player, and we've got three guys that have been in the Pro Bowl, so on defense. So, you know, utilize that core, add some guys to it, and I think we can do pretty well.
Also, Coach, you've also got a linebacker, D'Amico Ryans, out of Alabama. He'll be playing for you again next year, Coach. Talk about D'Amico Ryans and what he can do in your defense, Coach, in the 3-4.
Well, we're going to let him, you know, run to the football and make plays. You know, he's going to be the hit man on our defense, and you know, he's shown how well he can play, and I think he'll continue to do that.
Longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips is our very special guest on the Sports RX on 740 The Game.
Coach, were you shocked the way this week the New York Jets came out and kind of manhandled Tom Brady a little bit in that game and came out and backed up all the smack talk that they were talking all week?
Well, a lot of times when a team gets embarrassed like they did the last time they played them, they come out and show what they can do. And sometimes when you beat a team like as bad as they beat them, you take them a little lightly. So maybe both of those things happened.
Coach, I want to ask you about the upcoming offseason. There's the labor. Obviously, there's a big thing going on here. We might not have football. We're not sure what's going to happen on the labor agreement. One of the sticking points is the 18-game season. Now, for you as a coach, where's your stance on the NFL moving to 18 games?
I know normally the players play 18 games if you count the preseason, because they play about 2 games out of the 4 total. So, I think they can play 18 games, and it may take a little longer training camp, or at least a longer training camp for the young guys to be able to get ready to play pretty quickly. But I think it's a possibility certainly that they can play 18 games.
Longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips, our very special guest on 7 for the Game. And, Coach, in an all-star situation like this, you want to practice hard and get ready for the game, but also you want the players to kind of relax and have some fun. How do you kind of combine the two of those and make sure the practices are very good and very thorough, but at least the players get a chance to have some fun in Orlando?
Well, you're going to have fun in Orlando just being here, as opposed to other parts of the country where it's a lot colder. And so we have, but you just organize the practices well, and the game plans are simple enough that we can get it taught quickly. You don't have to, take 10 days to get them ready to play. We're only playing a few defenses and the basic offensive plays, and let them play, and that's what we're doing.
Coach, one of your quarterbacks is Scott Tolzien out of Wisconsin. Had a very solid year this year. Talk about Scott Tolzien in practice week, Coach, and where do you see him? How good can he be in the NFL?
I tell you, he's practiced really well. He's a very smart player, and that certainly helps. We've always said, smart players get better, and so he's got a chance to get better and better. We had a 2-minute drill, and in the first play, he threw a touchdown pass, so his time on the field didn't last very long because they scored 6 points quickly. So, but that just shows you the kind of things he can do.
Longtime NFL coach Wade Phillips is our very special guest on the Sports RX on 740 The Game.
Coach, you get the opportunity to see all these kids, some of the best college athletes in the country playing in this East-West Shrine game. Now, the coach in you as the Houston Texans coordinator, are you taking an extra look at a lot of these defensive guys? Because you might see some of these guys coming your way in the draft.
Well, I'm looking at all the players. I think, it does give you an inside look on the players and, what they can do and how they are in the classroom, how they are, on the field, how they are on the sideline during the game, what kind of competitors they are. You do get a little inside view of them, and I think it helps to coach these kind of games.
All right, Coach, while we have you here, I got to get your take on some of these games this weekend. We got the Jets in Pittsburgh, and we got Chicago and Green Bay playing. 2 smash-mouth type games, going to be very competitive games. But who do you like in these games? I think both these games could be considered toss-ups.
Oh yeah, when Seattle beat the Saints, I think that threw everybody off as to who was going to win, who isn't. But it looks like to me, just looking at it, that Green Bay is really on the road. They look like the team, like the Giants were 3 years ago. They seem to be playing on the road tremendously well. If I had to pick the team that might win it all, I'd pick them. But it's a toss-up, like you said.
Well, Coach, listen, I appreciate you joining us, and good luck in the East-West Shrine game. And Coach Wade Phillips, thank you very much, Coach. I'll talk to you soon, my friend. Thank you, Coach.
You bet. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, Coach.
Thanks,
I
Coach.
appreciate that. Great stuff right there from Wade Phillips.